I'm curious if you're gonna know this filmmaker just by the aesthetic alone. You might be able to get it.
Might. What is he doing? It's a big attic.
Those are your hands. Those are your hands.
Okay, that a little off the
Do you recognize this Johnny Depp, by the way?
No.
Yeah, that's young Johnny Depp.
Jesus Christ.
I can't.
What?
It's pretty impressive. You gotta admit.
You can't do. You take my very breath away. I swear. Look at this.
Why is they're letting him do this?
Yeah.
This is terrifying.
It's a young Winona Ryder. Original Batman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's very off-putting from the
1990 this came out.
Tim Burton.
Yep, so Tim Burton, exactly. It's a Tim Burton movie.
So it's very off-putting from, like, it started as, oh, it's like this whole happy thing. It seems like a very happy story throughout. But he's creepy. It doesn't seem like a kid's movie, which is like, the tone is like kind of...
Yeah, you're kind of getting thrown off by the mix of like the holiday Christmas feel. Yeah, so I guess what you're saying is you're struggling with kind of like what the tone is in this movie.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
If you had to guess, how do you think it veers?
So, I don't know, I think he lost his hands in like some sort of accident.
Okay. The best they could do was scissors.
the best they could do was scissors his hands. Like just sharp blades.
Yes,
And
which I think is a very logical replacement for fingers and hands.
in 1990s, I mean, what could you get? Like, I don't think they had full prosthetics, so I think, you know.
You don't think they had prosthetic hands by 1990?
I don't know.
Okay, interesting.
And his family is like very supportive. They're letting him cut the dog, letting him cut each other's hair. I don't really know where the plot's gonna go. 'Cause I know I saw the one scene of like him like has to say goodbye to like this girl or whatever.
Right. She obviously has feels for him, right?
Somehow.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand, like, is the girl, where's she going where they have to say bye?
Right.
I don't know if she's traveling because her parents maybe don't like Edward Scissorhands.
Okay.
Because I think maybe her parents think, oh, like me, this guy's a nut, he's crazy.
Right.
So they're really trying to steer her away from Edward.
Okay.
That's kind of my theory on where the plot's going.
So you're thinking it's kind of one of these things that this woman discovers Edward Scissorhands, brings her into like the normal world. This young Winona Ryder falls in love with him.
Yeah.
But her parents are like, no, we're not going to let this happen. And then they're going to be kind of like forced away from each other. That type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a romance story, really. Right? That's what you're
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, okay. So no, I'll tell you this, you're actually not that far off. And I specifically wanted to pick this movie because my mom and my older sister were obsessed with this movie. So I grew up my whole childhood being forced to watch this film. It's a fantasy romance movie.
So it is romance.
It is a romance movie, so you got that part. That was good. So what's going on here is that Edward Scissorhands is actually a creation of a crazy scientist.
Like,
and he was
not his hands and the person?
Yeah, so Edward Scissorhands, the whole entity, the whole body of Edward is a creation of this mad scientist who died before he finished his project. He was trying to basically create a humanoid creature, but the issue was the last thing he was going to change were his hands, but he died before he got to fix his hands.
So they're just giant like
Yes.
blades.
So in this giant building he's in, where you see in the beginning of the trailer, that is the old scientist's old house, and he was just hanging out there because he didn't have anywhere to go. He hadn't been in the real world or anything like that. He's not a real person. So this woman is a door-to-door salesman that comes and finds him, finds that he's sweet and gentle, even though he looks scary.
Yeah.
Invites him into their home, which her daughter is Winona Ryder.
Oh.
And he and Winona start having a thing, but Winona has a boyfriend. He's not super psyched about Edward Scissorhands, which I think is reasonable, right? Like, what if a guy with Scissorhands was coming after your girl? You probably wouldn't be super psyched about that, right?
No.
So actually, he comes into the society and they do a big welcoming barbecue in the neighborhood, and everyone loves him. And that's where you see he's interacting with the different people in the town, and he's giving them haircuts and trimming their dogs and doing their bushes, and he's just becoming a model
people love
citizen.
him?
Yeah, actually, people originally love him. And then what actually happens is he essentially gets staged a couple times. He gets set up by Winona's shithead boyfriend to do a crime, which gives him a bad name. And then he inadvertently tries to help the younger brother of Winona by like pushing him out of the way of like a car or something. But he has scissor hands. So when he pushed him, he cut him. So somebody tried to spin it. Oh, he attacked him. And then all of a sudden the town is after Edward Scissorhands. And it's all because of Winona's shithead boyfriend. And so, spoiler alert, in case you want to go see how that whole story unfolds, spoiler alert, after all that whole fiasco, it's kind of a Frankenstein situation where he runs up to like his big tower where he was hiding originally, and that boyfriend chases him and like goes after him along with Winona, and in the end, Edward Scissorhands actually kills Winona's boyfriend because
with his hand, like
stabs him in the chest with his scissor hands, and he is a wah. And the reason, well, he saw the boyfriend smack Winona, and he was like, "That's it, you're dead." Stabs him with the scissor hands, like fires him out of the top story window of the building, and him saying goodbye is that we can't be together because I killed this guy. If people find out, I'm gonna be killed. So Winona actually covers for him and says that they killed each other in the house. And for some reason, no one verifies this. They're just like, okay, case closed. And they walk
Nobody checks in the house. Nobody
no one checks the bodies. No one worries about any
I
of
trust
that.
you.
Yeah. Winona knows. She knows. So that's how that all goes. So it's a romance novel, and how it ends up being is that where all the snow comes in is this in like California or somewhere they don't get snow, and when he makes that ice sculpture, like when he makes ice sculptures, the ice flying off is like snow. So there's like a very famous scene where Winona Ryder is dancing in the snowflakes that he's creating from the ice sculpture he's making, and that's kind of like one of the iconic shots.
Yeah.
But definitely a very fucked up movie.
So that was my next question. Who is this movie made for?
Oh, I'll tell you who it's for. So first off, Tim Burton was on fire right at this point in time. This is totally, like I said, the original Batman he made. Beetlejuice just came out. So like he's coming out, like this is his third one. So who it's made for is for, I mean, you know how you're confused and you're like, why are all these girls into, now I'm gonna date myself here, but like the Twilight books. Like as a guy, I didn't understand that, but it's the romance of unrequited love or love that can't happen. These two people that want to be together, but they can't because of external forces. It's a very classic love tale. It actually goes back to Romeo and Juliet. That's what Romeo and Juliet's all about.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I mean, like I said, this is even kind of a slight deviation from a Frankenstein story, right? Where like people judge him because he's a monster. I think that's really the message of the movie, right? Is even though he looks like a monster and he has weapons attached to him, he's actually a sweet person and you shouldn't judge him. In all the situations where he gets in trouble or it's never his fault, he's always trying to do the right thing and he's put in a bad position. So that's really the moral of the story. And who it's for are for sad mopes that, well, first off, like so many people, especially this time, were obsessed with Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp was just dripping.
As a kid?
Well, he wasn't a kid. He was like a young adult. I mean, dude, Johnny Depp's old right now. He's like in his 60s. Like people don't realize. Yeah, he's so. I mean, 1990, he was in his 30s, like late 20s, early 30s. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, women love Johnny Depp, and Tim Burton was just a brand at that time. Like anything Tim Burton touched was gold. Then on top of that, you have a fantasy romance angle of it, if you're into like that gothic, dark, traditional like aesthetic, which is Tim Burton's thing, then you're gonna love it. You know, the people who love Nightmare Before Christmas also most likely love Edward Scissorhands. That type of thing. If you've ever seen that movie.
So it takes that like, you know, Frankenstein type story and ties it in with that romance lost thing.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to explain it. Frankenstein monster combined with Romeo and Juliet.
Seems to me. I mean, it wasn't what I expected.
Yeah. Oh no, not at all. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to get notified of our dope content. Even comment what type of movies you want to see. Maybe we could watch them together. Who knows? Fucking weird.